Hello everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us today for this webinar on hosted desktops. And thank you for taking out the time to be a part of this. We are glad to have you. I'll quickly start off with a round of introductions. First, about myself, I'm Anuj with Ace Cloud Hosting. I've been a part of the A Solutions team for the past 5 years, and on a daily basis, in very simple terms, what I do is I speak to different businesses, understand how they work, and check for any bottlenecks, any challenges, any limitations, and help them be more productive and more profitable. Along with me, we have Yatin with us. Yatin Soni from Citrix. Yatin is a channel professional with over 12 years of experience, and he has worked majorly with managed service providers in the past. Currently, Yatin is a part of the Citrix service provider business as a tech strategy lead, and he's helping partners to develop and implement hybrid work solutions. So, welcome, Yatin. Thank you for being here. Um, the next quick word would be around the topic of the day, which is giving your hybrid workforce a productive, secure, and agile experience. So, because over the past 2 years, almost all the businesses have felt the effects of the pandemic, and it has changed the way businesses have been operating. Their employers have been working, and while we are still adapting to this change, we want to make sure that your company is still productive and your data is still secure. So the majority of the discussion, the theme of this webinar is going to revolve around the same. Before that, quickly want to just share why ACE and Citrix are doing this together. So Citrix specializes in providing hosted desktops, virtual desktops, and ACE is what does help with the implementation part. ACE is going to put that desktop on the cloud for your end users to work with and make the product realizable or consumable, in other terms. A quick word around Ace Cloud Hosting. Ace Cloud Hosting has been a managed service provider for the previous 10, 12 years. We started back in 2009 with application hosting, and very quickly we moved on to hosted desktops. So from 2012 onwards, we have been providing hosted desktops as our major area of expertise. And along with that, there are some ancillary services like backup as a service or security as a service that are also provided by ACE. But then our main focus has always been providing hosted secure desktops for the organizations to work with. And needless to say, I mean, while we are at it, while we're discussing all the things related to this topic, please feel free to post in your questions in the chat. We'll definitely try to take them up as we move along. And to kickstart things, we actually have a very simple, straightforward question for you, a very small poll. I'm going to publish that question so that everyone can take a look at that. Right, so it's pretty straightforward. Is your industry seeing a major shift towards hybrid work? And I'm going to let this run for another 60 seconds. Thank you for participating in this. Let me quickly show you the results. All right. So basically, either everyone has been feeling some sort of effects or not at all. Um, But yeah, I mean, our discussion, our conversation is going to be around the same facts, and I'm going to pass over the session to Yatin. Yatin, over to you.
Thank you, Anuj. Can we just roll back to the
Yeah, sure.
presentation? And thank you. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Anuj, for that introduction. So let's start by looking back at the last 2 years. We were all forced into remote work and into the unknowns, but over the last 2 years, some interesting data has come out now. So first, more than half of the global knowledge workers were working remotely by the end of last year. Right? More than 41% of workers said that they were more productive while working remotely than they were in the office. And finally, we've all heard of the great resignation. 42% of the workers say that they will leave if their organization does not offer hybrid work. So that's the last 2 years, right? Now, let's look at some of the data that's coming out of research done by Gartner, IDC, and Citrix ourselves at the future. So what does the future look like? So how are organizations going to handle the challenges and complexities of the distributed work requirements, right? So first, the pandemic has caused organizations to accelerate digital transformation, especially by transitioning to the cloud. 85% of IT organizations will embrace cloud-first principles by 2025. 2025 is not that far away. It's literally 3 years away, right? And because of all this demand for hybrid work, people working from home, security concerns while people work from home because they're working outside, the office firewall perimeter, there's a growing interest in what's being called a zero trust security. And up to 74%, or close to 3/4 of enterprises will phase out most of the remote access VPNs in favor of what the industry calls zero trust network access. And finally, unsurprisingly, 73%, so again, almost 3/4 of the workers want flexible work options. So, if COVID leaves us with nothing else, it'll be at least a demand from employees to provide some flexible work from home options. So when you put all of this together, so transitions to cloud, phasing out VPNs, providing workers with secure remote work options, taking these together, these trends and challenges means IT must think differently, right? So before we go any further, let's run another quick poll. Anuj, can you bring up the next poll, please?
Absolutely. Just a moment. All right. So I hope this is visible to everyone. Please take a moment to review and share your responses. Thank you again, everyone. I'll close this poll and share the results with you.
All right, so yeah, almost 50% better work-life balance for employees, and that's not surprising. And the next biggest thing is workforce efficiency, and we just kind of spoke about it, that the stats that are coming out, that 73% of workers want flexible remote work options, and that's obviously driven by better work-life balance. And workforce, 75, 74, 75% of the employees think that they're more efficient. 40% of the employees think they're more efficient when they're working from home. So that's not surprising. All right, thanks, Anuj. We'll go back to the presentation now. Thank you. All right, so we at Citrix, we believe that real success will go to those organizations that can deliver a consistent and unified, secure and simplified work experience across every work channel, on any device, and from any location. And let's look at why, right? So employees are working from anywhere, hybrid work, that's what it's all about. When they're working from anywhere, IT does not have much control over what device they want to try and use. So they may be working from any location or any device, right? So we have a shared mission to remove the complexity from today's hybrid and distributed work environments so that every employee, every team, and every organization can perform at their best. This includes any user working from any location, across any device, using any application, doing any work type. So what do you as an organization need to consider? First, you need to consider how to support all of your workforce or users, which would likely include internal employees, contract or temporary workers, and those business partners that must engage just like they're part of your company. You then need to think about how you support people working across locations. Those locations include where many people are today, in a remote or home office setting. The location also typically include an office or other facility, both primary headquarters and small branch location. And it often includes supporting people while they're on the road in a mobile setting. It also means you need to think about how to support any device, including corporate-owned and personal devices, whether those are desktop devices, laptops, thin clients, shared workstations, or mobile devices. And then you need to provide all these people with access to any application they need to stay productive, collaborative, and engaged, regardless of whether those are your traditional Windows and custom applications, SaaS or web applications, or mobile applications. And finally, you need to give your users a way to execute work and collaborate across teams in the most efficient and agile way possible. So what does that mean? It means that how a company approaches this opportunity implicitly impacts the perception of IT value. As you will be aware, if things work well, technology is seen as an enabler of true strategic values. But when things don't go well, it's easy, very, very easy to blame technology, right? It's a complex balancing act to deliver on this vision, when you also need to ensure that the user experiences are perfect and your security posture is maintained at global scale, right? And this is all done while often maintaining a flat budget. We understand, you look at all of this and it would be easy to think that this is insurmountable, but we know that that's not the case, right? We're seeing customers prove that that's not the case. In fact, the pandemic has led many businesses to act on this vision and to prove that it's possible, and possible to do it faster than anyone could have expected before the pandemic hit us, right? So what does a new enterprise technology stack look like today, right? So today, enterprise technology stack can be defined by three new realities, right? First, cloud is the new data center. So before pandemic, we used to have a server room, a private data center, so a rack where all your servers would sit. Today, that's not the case, right? Cloud is the new data center. You've got internet is your new enterprise network. So it's no longer, your corporate network is no longer limited to your office or branch offices or headquarters only, right? Internet is the new enterprise network because people are just working from anywhere, right? And finally, SaaS applications or software as a service applications delivered from the cloud are your new application stack. So these are the three new realities of enterprise technology stack, right? So let's talk about the cloud, right? Because people are moving to the cloud. They're forced into moving to the cloud, driven by different business demands, user demands, and cost reduction factors. There's multiple facets, factors that have led to migration to the cloud, right? But let's look at the benefits of moving to the cloud first, right? So one of the main benefits of moving to the cloud is a simplified business continuity and disaster recovery system. Because it's in the cloud, you're not liable as an organization to manage the infrastructure that runs everything in the cloud, and cloud providers like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and a bunch of other ones, they are the ones who take care of all the infrastructure, right? Hybrid cloud flexibility for business agility, right? So hybrid cloud is when you utilize multiple clouds, and you utilize the cloud as you seem fit for your business, right? It gives you fast and easy access to new features and functionalities. It's a faster time to value and broader cloud service integration. And finally, you can very efficiently manage infrastructure as a service cost and consumption cost. So you can very easily predict the costs associated with the cloud. So at this point, I'd like to take a little pause and we'll run another quick poll. Let's give this poll about another minute or so. So Anuj, can you please run the next poll, please?
Absolutely. Just a moment. Here we go. Thank you, everyone. Once again, I'll close this poll and share the results.
All right. Thank you for that. So yeah, security, disjoint employee experience, and expensive cloud costs. Yep, top three. We always see these three being the top, top challenges, and we're going to talk about each of these in the next few slides. Thank you, Anuj. All right. So employers are tapping hybrid work models to drive innovation, right? So while organizations have realized that hybrid work offers significant advantages, right? So organizations can use hybrid work to boost workforce productivity, accelerate innovation. With solutions like desktop as a service, they can add new workers, access cloud-based talent pools, meet demand bursts, move faster to capture opportunity. While that's one side of it, there is, however, security risks are increased because your security, more than 70% of IT executives say that BYO devices are a leading source of security risk, right? Almost 80% of security decision makers say that the pandemic has caused them to completely rethink their long-term information security strategy. right? And this is one of the things that we just realized in the poll as well, right? So IT and security need to replace point solutions with end-to-end solutions that enable zero trust architectures, and that we'll talk about those in a few minutes, right? So, as you're all aware, security is a fine balance between securing your company data and delivering an acceptable user experience, right? So we at Citrix believe, strongly believe, that Citrix is the only company that will keep access to your applications and data secure while improving the employee experience. Very important, the last bit, improving the employee experience, right? So we know that hybrid work is here to stay, right? It means connecting people who could be anywhere to the applications and data they need, which could live anywhere, right? So the key to your success is to deliver a simple and secure experience that works perfectly no matter where a job must get done. In fact, we at Citrix now say that work is not a place, it's a thing you do, right? It's not a place anymore, right? So let's talk about some of these things of how we can help you enable secure distributed work or secure hybrid work, right? So how ACE enables secure distributed work. ACE's suite of solutions, powered by Citrix, of course, help you enable secure hybrid work models with a complete solution. So it's an end-to-end solution, and that goes back to one of the main challenges that was in the previous poll question, which was to do with disjoint employee experience. This is an end-to-end solution, which means your employees will have a consistent experience without having that that all that disjoint and changing of context as they work through their day, right? ACE is a Citrix strategic partner that delivers enterprise-leading virtual desktop solutions globally, right? So let's see how it all comes together. So first, it starts with DaaS, right? ACE delivers a fully managed DaaS or desktop as a service powered by Citrix, which provides speed and scalability along with an exceptional experience for your employees without you worrying about the underlying solution itself, right? This allows you to focus on your business rather than IT, right? That then is layered with application delivery and security. So ACE uses Citrix security solutions to deliver a zero trust security framework so that you can mitigate cybersecurity threats even before they happen, right? And finally, with innovative work solutions, right, ACE can deliver work collaboration solutions that assist businesses with increasing their employee productivity, right? So Gartner actually projects that by 2024, so in a couple of years, 80% of virtual desktops served to remote users will be via desktop as a service, which will be up from fewer than 30% today. So that's a big jump. By 2023, which is next year essentially, all of these enterprises will phase out most of their remote access VPNs in favor of a zero trust solution, right? So at this point, I'll quickly pause for a minute and we'll run one more poll question. Anuj, can you please run the next poll question?
Sure. All right, so we'll take another 60 seconds just to review these and get your responses. Thank you, everyone. I'm about to publish the results.
All right. So employers' demand for flexibility is a top hit. Some of you are not moving towards permanent hybrid work, attracting global talent pool, and the reduction in real estate footprint. All right, awesome. Let's talk through some of these in the next few slides. Right. So so ACE mitigates key business challenges. So there are many different business challenges, but there are some key ones that we see across multiple verticals across all industries. So let's talk about the top three business challenges that we usually see. Right. The first challenge we commonly see is streamlining of remote work and the associated costs. Right. Now, to be fair to all organizations and their IT department, this was caused by the rush to enable remote work during the start of the pandemic without having the luxury of planning. Right. ACE's fully managed task solution allows the use of BYO devices and allows remote work without compromising on security or user experience. Right. Based on the organization's requirements, this can be as simple as a single data center solution, or this can be expanded to multiple points of presence across the globe. Right. So streamlining remote work is one of the key business challenges that we see. And the next one is the redesign offices and facilities. Right. The next challenge that we see is that in the ever-changing IT landscape, companies are struggling to rapidly deliver business critical applications, right, that are suited to any user, any device, and any location philosophy. ACE's application delivery framework allows for disruption caused by unforeseen events, which means your employees can continue to be productive irrespective of what time of the day it is, without worrying about what device they're on, without worrying about where they're working from. They can just continue to be productive for you, right? And finally, and we spoke about this a little bit earlier, and in your poll as well, you chose that as one of the key driving factors. The great resignation is well and truly here. We are seeing that companies want to reduce attrition as well as attract global talent beyond the traditional geographic boundaries. ACE's suite of solutions powered by Citrix deliver a frictionless, unified, and consistent experience across any device type and from any location. Right? So that was some business challenges. Let's look at some industries. Right? So ACE enables key use cases across all industries, but we're going to take three examples. Firstly, healthcare. Right? So uh, from an experience perspective, so patients experience, patients using ACE's solutions powered by Citrix, uh, organizations can deliver more easily with better technical integration, more widespread reimbursement and telemedicine services to their patients. From a clinician experience perspective, we can deliver a unified, consistent experience across any device, location, or network. And finally, there's cost reductions related to not having any hardware because everything runs off the cloud, right? Education, supporting remote education at all levels, right? So from a student experience perspective, you can give students across the education spectrum easier access to resources and flexible coursework delivery options, right? You can enhance the educator's experience by delivering a unified, consistent experience across any device, location, or network. And you can reduce capital expenditure by using low-cost devices like thin clients, Chromebooks, or BYO devices, and you can reduce your hardware and CO2 footprint. And finally, another example with contact center. So contact center, as you're all aware, their USP, every contact center's USP is the customer experience that they can provide. So you can drive a consistent experience that sets your brand apart with your customer base, right? And at the same time, you want to enhance your own contact center agents experience. So you can reduce the process friction with a consistent, flexible experience and high performance or graphic intensive applications. And in terms of business resiliency, you can reduce disruptions, increase uptime, and keep your data secure, right? So when this all comes together, yeah, your journey to secure hybrid work with ACE would start with desktop as a service. So secure your Windows applications and desktop delivery with ACE's desktop as a service. You then layer that with a zero trust access for enterprise applications with secure private access and secure internet access, right? And finally, we can ACE can deliver, rapid, so they can mitigate their challenges associated with rapidly evolving security threats and fix performance issues with Citrix Analytics. So enough of talking, right? Seeing is believing. So let us experience what hybrid work with Citrix powered solutions looks like, right? So we will just pause the presentation and run a very quick and small video for you to have a look at. So that's coming up now.
We've all heard about the Great Resignation, the gig economy, remote and flexible work. This has business IT looking to flexible solutions like desktop as a service to quickly and securely onboard their users. So let's assume that I'm starting a new job with a contact center company. The last company I worked for, it took me a couple of days just to get logged in and working. Hopefully this time will be a little bit easier. Now this Chromebook that you see here was just shipped to me direct from the manufacturer. I unboxed it, powered it up, and already put it on my home Wi-Fi. You know, the one I'm sharing with the wife and the kids. And I already have my network credentials, so let's type in my username here. And next it's going to ask me for my password. So we'll get my password and type it in next. And let's see what happens. Well, check this out. It has set everything up for me. And I can access my work either on a browser or, here on the Workspace app. And so I've launched the Workspace app. My hands are off the keyboard and my credentials are passed through. It looks like a lot of stuff here, including announcements and the like and applications I can launch. But I'm told that I'm supposed to be using desktops as a service, or DaaS. So I'm going to get right into DaaS here, launch this Azure Virtual Desktop so I can get to work on my projects. And so it's making the connection to that virtual desktop to me, here right onto my Chromebook. And there it is, a desktop delivered from the cloud. And it has all the applications I need, including this 3D application that's rendering 3D graphics and delivering them to me. You know, given the experience I'm having here, I would have never guessed that I was on a Chromebook on my home Wi-Fi connected to a desktop in the cloud. This is a great experience. Now, so far, I've talked about rapid onboarding and my experience as a contact center employee. What about other use cases? Workers who, are now working mostly from home, telemedicine, back office, remote engineering, and education. Maybe you don't want to send out a device to everyone. With Citrix, you can deliver desktops as a service on any device. Now, I did receive instructions on how to securely use my own device, and I have my MacBook. I've already gotten the workspace from the App Store, so I'll go on ahead and log in. Security is a little tighter on this device. They want a little more information. My username and my password. And it also wants a multi-factor token, which comes through my phone either as a token or a push notification. So I'll enter that token right now. Now, perhaps you noticed that this device ran an endpoint scan before I got to this point. It's not a corporate issued device after all. That's to check the layer of security on this device. And look at that. I'm in my workspace, and now I'll launch that DaaS desktop again and make the connection. So the connection is now made. I'm connecting to that same DAS desktop, but look, it's a little different. It's watermarked this time. But that same high graphics application is here. Overall, I really think this is pretty cool. And that's a cool rendering. I think I'll take a screenshot of it. Oh, wait. Maybe not. It looks like they've added a layer of security here. I can't take screen captures. There's also keylogger protection, and they probably lock down drive mapping, printing, and clipboard as well. I don't know if you noticed or not, but my phone's been buzzing a lot as well with email alerts. So let's go on ahead and check Outlook and see what's going on. And it looks like Citrix Analytics has contacted me after detecting something. The environment has detected that I'm logging in here on this device for the first time, and it wants to actually verify that it's really me. This is Security Analytics, part of the Citrix DAS platform, protecting my access and the company from a possible breach. I'm impressed. All in all, a great user experience with Citrix DAS. I'm quickly onboarded, everything works great, and I can even use my own device while maintaining zero trust security. And we've already seen here how Citrix continues to make substantial improvements in DAS performance. Now check out this experience. It's native DAS without Citrix, and it doesn't deliver the best experience. Unfortunately, my ISP has very high latency, and it's very hard to use. But the experience, it's completely different with Citrix. Even on the exact same network connection, the same client, the same cloud-delivered desktop, even with rich graphics, you can see the smoothness of the Citrix experience. This reduces the end-user fatigue, especially when it's time to zoom into complex graphics and scroll through large data sets and files. Here it is, side by side. On the left, you see Citrix delivering a 3D application. On the right, a non-Citrix native experience. Now, an end user might not worry much about the numbers, but DAS with Citrix HDX can be delivered in 3D in 4K with twice the frames per second and up to 400 times more throughput when the network is available. It's a true HD experience. From quick onboarding to security and using just about any device and a great experience, it's easy to see why Citrix is the pioneer and the industry leader in DAS.
All right. So hopefully that gave you a bit of a real life idea of what all of this that we're talking about means and how it all actually works. So let's now look at some customer success stories around different business challenges, right? So Discover Financial, right? This is a customer success story around business continuity. So Discover Financial moved quickly to protect the call center employees and ensure that customers continue to get the service they needed, not only in the face of a pandemic, but also while experiencing a 5.7 magnitude earthquake that hit Utah, where their largest call center resides, right? And that did move 95% of their contact center agents to working from home in less than 14 days, right? The state of Illinois rapidly responded to the governor's directive to transition their office-based workforce to remote work, making a 20-fold increase in remote workers literally in a matter of days, right? This is an incredible feat on its own, and even more impressive to see that the team accomplished the scope of change and met requirements to secure state resources, especially given the increase in remote and employee-owned computers, right? This next example, University of Sussex, right? This is an example around scalability. So before lockdown, about 100 of their staff could work from home, right? But at the start of the pandemic, within a week, University of Sussex fast forwarded their efforts of a 5-year digital transformation plan into 1 week so that 3,000 staff and 19,000 students could connect, work, and study from home. And finally, Stifel is a multinational investment bank and financial services company that got 90% of their employees working remotely and created 180 trading locations from 8 desks literally in a matter of days. So that's business agility, right? From 8 trading desks to 180 plus trading locations in a matter of days. Now, these are just some of the examples. As you can see, the demand for secure hybrid work exists in every industry. Even though the business challenges are different, Citrix, with its partners like ACE, have utilized cloud transitions to meet those challenges head on and provide tailored solution to each of them. So, what are the next steps, right? You schedule an in-depth demo with the team at ACE and get a proof of concept set up. The team at Citrix and ACE Cloud Hosting are here to support you in your journey to the cloud so that you can empower your hybrid workforce to do their best work and be assured that your data and assets are secure. So before I close off, let's run the final poll question. Anuj, can you please run the final poll question for us?
Absolutely, I'm on it, and I'm about to launch this now. Right, so I hope it is visible to everyone. Please take a moment to share your responses. Thank you. I'll close this now and show you the stats.
All right, awesome. So offering 24/7, 365 support by outsourcing and investing in technology to reduce support calls are, yeah, these are the top two that we always see. Investing in technology in the right way investing in technology is great, but you got to invest in technology in a way that it makes sense for your organization. And that's where the team from ACE Cloud Hosting can come in and really look at your specific use case, your specific business challenges, because every organization is different, and provide you a tailor-made solution that works for you, your organization, and your employees. With this, I will hand this over to the team at ACE to close off the session. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to reach out should you have any questions from us. Yeah, over to you, Anuj.
All right, thank you, Yatin. That was nicely done. All right, perfect. So, as already discussed over the previous few slides, that ACE is a Citrix strategic partner. Citrix provides the virtual desktop technology, the product, and ACE basically puts it on the cloud for your users, for your business to work with, right? And as we saw in your last poll, that around 30% would want a very efficient support unit, right? So ACE does deliver 24/7, 365 support through live chats, calls, and emails, including weekends and government holidays, so that we can assist you like your own remote IT team, pretty much at hand with anything that you want. And I mean, being available is one thing and being responsive is another. So the ACE team, it is a pretty responsive unit as well. And owing to this high level of support that ACE provides, ACE has been given some awards over the past couple of years, with the latest one being given by G2 as the High Performer Award in 2022. Right. So just to close this, what I'd like to add is like The hosted cloud, it basically, what it does for you is it does all the preliminary work. You do not need to spend anything on setting up the infrastructure and take the headache of making sure that all the users are able to work with the organization's programs and database. Ace does all of that, including the setup work, including the migration work. We have a dedicated onboarding team uh, who are responsible for making sure that all the users are able to work like they want to. And that's not it. This is just the capital expenditure that you do not need to worry about. There is a big part, big chunk, which is the operational expenditure, which is managing, maintaining the security, taking backups on a daily basis. Uh, that are that are already taken care of by the ACE managed cloud service, right? Otherwise, because because I happen to speak with businesses quite a lot, and what I get to know is like their in-house server, their on-prem server is getting out to date. They're having to update it, invest in it from time to time. So of course, I mean, you want your employees to focus on the core work that they are supposed to do, and you want to invest your time in managing and increasing the productivity of your employees and company. So instead of focusing on managing the platform that your employees are working on, that you are working on, your sole focus would be in getting the best results out. And ACE does provide you the basic foundation to make sure that you have everything intact at all times as needed. Right. So basically, this brings us to the end of this webinar, almost the end. On the next slide, you will find our contact details. Of course, there's a solutions team, entire solutions team will be happy to do a demo, proof of concept, or have a discussion, preliminary discovery calls with anyone. And here are the contact details. With this, I think we can close this session and take up the questions from all of you. Okay, so we have a question uh, like, if we want Citrix security features, do I need to contact ACE or Citrix? So basically, I mean, Citrix, it does come with some built-in security features, but then those are actually not enough, because after the deploy, after you put it on the network, you still need some security features in place to make sure that it is your hosted desktop and data is safe and secure. So alone, the measures provided by the Citrix security, those won't be enough. There has to be done something additionally: redundant firewalls, IDS IPS systems, like the intrusion detection and the prevention systems. And what we do at ACE is we deploy next generation antivirus, which uses machine learning and artificial intelligence to neutralize the threats. So just to answer your question, Citrix security alone would not be enough. You need to layer that with some additional security measures to make sure that everything is secure at all times. And we have another question, I think, from one of the attendees. So basically, the question is around the workers having to work from home and not being able to find a conducive environment to be productive. Well, I mean, I think there was a point in the webinar that work is not anymore a place; it is a thing. So I think getting the right environment. Of course, I mean, this is likely to happen, but then it is up to the end user to make sure that they are in an environment where they can work just like they want to, without any disturbances, distractions. And just for example, I mean, we also are working from home, and I mean, to me, the work environment at home, it seems to be much more conducive because I can be alone in my room and work with the task on the task with maybe double concentration, double the focus, and hence be more productive. So I think it depends on case to case, but in more cases, I think you're likely to see better results, better efficiency and productivity when people are working in a secluded environment, and it's really up to them to find a good uh, distraction-free environment to work on.
Yeah, sorry, Anuj, and I'd just quickly add to that is while we cannot help the users if someone's watching Netflix in the next room while they're working, that really will be on the users. But what we can do, Citrix and Ace Cloud Hosting, what we can do is implement the right solution so that your employees don't have that disjoint user experience. They have a great user experience, which means we can streamline some of their workflows and things like that, which will help them make more productive as they work through some of these distractions. At least they'll be more productive. So we can help definitely assist in there.
Definitely. And for those of you who might be interested in knowing about the capabilities of monitoring, there is a module built within Citrix that enables you to monitor, make sure, I mean, get to know what hours the users are working on, what programs they are working on, and what's their activity level. All of that stuff is going to be available to you from that module. So that option is always going to be there. Any other questions, anyone? We'll just take a minute to see if anyone has anything to say. All right, so basically we have one more question, and it is revolving around basically how much time will it take for their employees to adapt to something like this? Well, the answer is because see, most of the times we are dealing with people who are not so from, well, they do not know how to deal with technical things or IT related things. So this product that we give out, it is a very generic product, and it should come easily to all kind of users. And for the same reason, it is made simple. uh, Basically what we are doing is we are basically just giving a software that remotes any user into a complete hosted desktop, right? So all they need is just the software on their system. And just like you probably know that Facebook, for example, you can log in through a web browser, and you can have a desktop app as well for logging into your Facebook account, or for on or your Gmail account. So similarly, all the users, they need to do is just log into the hosted desktop and just start working. So there is not a lot for any new person to deal with. It is really easy, probably just a question of doing it once or twice themselves. All right, so I think we do not have any more questions or doubts for time being. And okay, as a matter of fact, we do have one. So the question is around, how is the solution going to accommodate employees working from company devices and separate locations? Well, the whole idea of providing a service, something similar, something like this, a hosted desktop, is that the users, they get the flexibility to work with the desktop, the hosted desktop, your organization's desktop, from any place, from any device, and at all times. So all of these the accessibility part forms a basic building block of this service. So it covers accessibility from all devices and from all locations. And as I said, it's going to be accessible at all times. And that is why there is very little or next to nothing required from your end users, from your employees, to get start working with this hosted desktop from their location or from any device. All the instructions, of course, are going to be shared with the users so that they can get to working easily anytime they want to from any new device or new system.
And I'll also add to that, Anuj, is as we showed in the demo video, the system can understand the context of an end user device. As you may remember from the demo video that we played, was that if you were on a corporate issued device, you would have a different context. So there was no watermarking. You had the full desktop experience and everything. But when the user in the demo video switched to a personal MacBook device, you had the watermarking and the clipboard was disabled and taking screenshots were disabled. So the solution can understand the context. We call it context-based access. It can understand the context and you can decide or you can choose what rules you want to apply, and they will just apply to your devices. You can handle a managed an IT managed device differently to when a user is coming from a BYO device or from a mobile device or from an iPad or an iPhone. So you can decide what security control mechanisms you want to put for different contexts.
All right, so I think we'll wrap this up. If there are any questions, of course, the ACE team is going to be available to have a discussion, answer those queries anytime. And thank you everyone for being patient, being here with us. And I think we'll close this and everyone have a safe good night.